I'm Neil Bakewell and welcome to Supersize Your Business. In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about doing things differently and differentiating yourself. Say you're an accountant. There's probably 10, 20, 50, even 100 accountants in your town city all doing the same thing, all being accountants. How do you as a business manage to stand out from the crowd? How do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the competition? Well, one of the ways you can perhaps do that is with your marketing. Now, I remember when we first started our business all those years ago, one of the very first pieces of marketing we did was sending out in the post what we called in those days a flyer. I didn't know to call it direct mail. I got no education about marketing, about direct mail, about direct response, anything at all at this stage. It was just basically my ideas coming out of my head and splurging out on a piece of A4 paper. Anyway, what we did is we just simply were trying to communicate our message, because how we stood out from the crowd at that stage, we were a care agency, and we were effectively revolutionising, I suppose is the word to use, the pricing structure in the care sector, where normally you would charge a separate rate for a morning shift, a separate rate for a late, separate rate for a night shift, then there'd be a different rate for a Saturday, different rate for a Sunday, etc. Very complicated. We said, no, we're not doing that. Let's just have a flat rate, one price, anytime. Great way to differentiate ourselves from the crowd. And we got a lot of business that way, is that we weren't that cheap on the standard Monday to Friday day rate. In fact, we were more expensive than some of the competition. However, we were cheaper on the night shifts and certainly at the weekend shifts. And we would start getting business in at the weekends, and then they'd see how good our staff were, and they'd pay the extra to have them during the Monday to Friday as well. But we went with this sort of, are you being overcharged at the weekends and the night thing? And what we did with this flyer, this direct mail piece, is I just used a simple bit of clip art and got a picture of a burglar in a striped jumper, mask on, swag bag over his back. Put that on the top with the headline, "Are you being robbed?" And I went on to talk about our unique price differentiation. We got a hell of a lot of work with that flyer. It was very, very crude, very basic, and done with absolutely no education whatsoever. And it isn't something that I would probably use today, not in its current form. But let me tell you, it got results. And there's another separate lesson to learn there, is that it doesn't have to be perfect to leave your office. As long as it's good, then that's fine. That's good enough to get out the door. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once it's gone out, you can come back, test your results, and then make alterations if you need to. But one thing is for certain: nobody is going to respond to your direct mail piece if it's sat in the drawer of your desk or it's on your hard drive. Anyway, what I want to show you is another way that you can stand out from the crowd. On all of my marketing communications, I advertise my phone number. And the phone number I put on everything is actually a 24-hour answer phone. Because I'm away speaking, I'm in the middle of shooting a video like this, and I don't want to be disturbed, etc. And I also advertise it as a 24-hour answer phone. And people tend to ring it a lot more because they know they're not going to be intimidated by a hard sell at the end of the phone. Another tip for you there. Anyway, this is the message that I've just started putting on my answer phone. I hope you can hear it. So let's just see if it works okay.
You've reached the 24-hour answer phone of international speaker, rapid results coach, and information marketer Neil Bakewell. This guy is so damn good, he employs me to record his messages. Hell, I've got an Academy Award.
It's Morgan Freeman.
If you're ringing about the Profit Explosion Blueprint mailing you recently received, I don't blame you. I'll be picking up the phone to order it as well. If you want to book Neil to speak at your event, meeting, or school again, you've made a wise decision. Leave your details and back to you shortly. Neil's probably got Tom Hanks doing the outbound calls. This is me thanking you personally for your interest in the amazing Neil Bakewell.
Okay, so that's an impersonator pretending to be Morgan Freeman, and he's answering my phone. That's just another way to differentiate myself from other people. People are going to ring up and they're going to think, what on earth is all this about? And they're going to then listen a little bit more closely. And if you listen more closely to that message, you'll see I'm actually advertising two things on there. Firstly, we're talking about the Profit Explosion Blueprint, which is my deluxe product. It's got the DVDs, the manuals, the CDs, etc., which is my complete blueprint for small businesses. I also advertise my speaking services, so whichever one of those two things the people are ringing up for, they're also being informed about the other thing I do as well, which is really great. And it's just a whole lot more interesting than me saying, hello, it's Neil, I can't get to the phone right now. It's just something different, something that people will remember. Somebody will ring up that, they'll go home tonight, they'll say to their husband, I rang up this guy and Morgan Freeman answered the phone. How can you differentiate yourself and your business from the crowd? I'll see you on the next video. Take care till then.